Hi, welcome back. Happy Memorial Day. I just got back from a parade because I'm a band kid. Today we're going to be talking about completing the square, which is kind of just a follow-up from the last video. It's an algebra concept. It's a little more tricky, so I'm going to dedicate a whole video to it. Shouldn't take long, though. Let's get right into it. Now I just want to mention, I tend to go a little fast at times, so if you ever want to slow down the video or pause or whatever to aid your learning, that would be great. I mean, I really want to teach you here. I'm not trying to just breeze by all this, and this is like an actual teaching video compared to just reviewing. So yeah, feel free, watch it at 0.5, 0.75 speed, or pause every once in a while. So let's jump right into it here. This is your normal distribution. I don't know if a lot of you saw this method actually, because we normally just do it like the FOIL method where you multiply it, you go first, inside, outside, last. But also what you can do is you can call it length times width. So like length times width equals area. So just another way you can do this is like labeling it like this. So you get your x squared, x times x is x squared. You get your 2x, 3x, and then 2 times 3 is 6. So that's just your normal like basic geometry type of thing. And so you can write out your trinomial as x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6, which gives you the same thing as foiling, which would be 5x. So x squared plus 5x plus 6. But I just want to talk about this model because when you're completing the square, you are literally completing an actual square like this. So if I gave you this now, you can think that instead of squared, you can just write it out as x plus 6 again. And then you can do the same model here. So x plus 6, x plus 6. So you multiply these, get x squared, 6x, 6x, and then you get your 36 in here. So when it's squared like this, when it's two of the same thing, your rule of thumb here is that you square this first one, so you got the x squared. You square the last one, so you got plus 36. And then you do double of whatever this is going to be. So this is going to be, so this times this, so the 6x. Does that make sense? So like the x times the 6 and then times 2, because there's two of these areas here. There's 2. So, and that would be 12x. Ooh, that's purple now. Anyway. And so that's whenever, so anytime you have like one of these, like a squared one, it's always going to end up in a form like this. Oh, sorry, that's a little off camera. It's a 6. But yeah, this is important to know because now you're going to try to fill that in without knowing all this. Completing the square. They're going to give you something like this. It looks kind of like a incomplete trinomial. So, the normal trinomial form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals something. Doesn't have to be 0. In this case, it's 64. But you're looking for that last c. You're looking for the one part of the square. So, like, let me draw this back out for you. If you look at this here, we know that the first one is x squared, so this has to be x times x. And we know that this part is, so both of these parts are 12x. So we take 12x over 2 equals 6x. So this one has to be 6x, this one has to be 6x, and we don't know this last one. This last one is missing. That's what we're trying to find. So because it's the same example, you can probably tell. You can see that the one that you would divide by here, like you would divide it by x, you get 6. So we can see that our binomial is x plus 6. Now to find this, you would just do the same thing backwards. You would go back and do the 6 times 6, 36. So now we finally completed this trinomial here. We've completed the square. Like this is the square part that you're completing. I don't know if that makes sense. So did you guys get that? I'm talking to the camera. I don't really know. Anyway. You add this over here, the 36, to both sides, because, algebra, don't forget about that. And now, you can finally have it to the nice, pretty little x plus 6 squared. And if you can't tell, this is actually a nice example. It might not always be this nice, but more or less, you're just going to take the square root of both sides. So this is x plus 6 without the squared equals 10. Plus minus 10. Don't forget, because it's square rooting. So, and then you would solve out for the answers. I think that would be 16 and then 4. No, negative 4. Something like that. Anyway, that's your nice easy example there. So here's a little bit different of an example. Sometimes they'll give you something like this where it's already a trinomial, and you'll be real tempted to just like factor it out or do a quadratic formula or whatever, but it's math teachers, so sometimes they'll say you have to complete the square. So in that case, you would just make it an incomplete trinomial and then recomplete it with completing the square, which would look something like this. You would just, made that. Sorry. You would get rid of this part and then re-add it in as a perfect square. So that's all you do, and then it's back into this form that we're used to for completing the square. And for this one, I'm not going to show you the fun little geometry thing again. I'm just going to show you how to do it algebraically. I know, kind of boring, but makes it a lot easier. So basically, just remember your ax squared plus bx plus c. You're going to take the b, so this one, b over 2a, and then squared will be your missing number here. So negative 24 over 2, there's no a term, so just negative 24 over 2 squared, which would give you negative 12 squared. So whatever number you find there, so whatever your b over 2a is, that's going to be what's in your trinomial, or your binomial, sorry. So this is going to be minus 12. And then the one that you would add up here is 12 times 12, so plus 144. I think that adds out to be 225. So this is your square binomial, and then this would be 225, which again is a nice example. It doesn't always work this nicely, but the nice example means that you can square root both sides, and this will give you x minus 12 equals 15. Plus minus. I always forget that too. Don't forget that. And just looking at that, that would give you negative 27 or wait, did I do that wrong? I might have done that wrong. That up because it would be plus 12 plus 12. So x equals positive 27 and then negative 3. So those are your final answers for that one. It's pretty straightforward when you actually think about all the different steps here. So just remember to take this, and then this one is going to be in your binomial, and then the squared one, so this 144 is going to be the one that ends up getting added here, which is your final C term. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I will give you some practice problems. So here are your pause problems. I will go through these. I won't go through them like step by step and explain everything, but I'll just run through them real quick and give you the answers. Sorry, that got on a little messy side there, but yeah, here's your x equals negative 1, x equals negative 3, and then for this one for number 2, sorry, this is x equals 1 or negative 7. So hopefully that helped. I know just me kind of going through it like this isn't terribly helpful, but you can kind of see my work, and that's basically it. So I'm just going to end it there. If you still need help, I will recommend some videos in the description of this one, and you can also go ask ChatGPT for example problems. That would be something along the lines of like, hey, help me with my algebra, I need help with problems with completing the square. And that is always a good resource. Or ask me, you can send me an email. I have like comments, I guess. I'm not a YouTuber, but like smash that like button and maybe you'll see more. That's all. See ya.